I really want to be my authentic self,
Yes.
like 100%. And so it hurts, you know, when I don't feel like I can.
Did you ever have some bouts to where Katy just didn't want to go on?
Yeah, I wrote a song about it.
In just a few short years, she has sold more than 75 million tracks and has more than 1 billion views on YouTube.
That's how I process, is I write songs.
And you get rid of those feelings, those
Well,
uncomfortable
yeah,
feelings.
some of them.
Katy's just an explosion. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
To her multi-hued hair colors as the reigning queen of pop.
Some of them don't come out fully, and that's why I still do the work.
Which song was that? What lyric comes to your mind?
By the grace of God.
I was going through some depressing, dark times.
Surprising with that trademark Perry fun.
They're heartfelt.
It's hard, like I say, get on tour.
Okay.
And it's hard because I'm ashamed.
It's been one wild ride for Perry, and one vastly different from her upbringing.
You did admit to having once had suicidal thoughts.
Very low thoughts.
Very low thoughts.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel ashamed that I would even like have those thoughts, you know? I'd feel that low or that depressed.
Her first album was gospel under her real name, Katy Hudson.
I so badly want to be Catherine Hudson that I don't even want to look like Katy Perry anymore sometimes.
That upbringing makes her first hit song all the more surprising. It was that song about kissing a girl that launched her career.
And like, that is a little bit of why I cut my hair, is because I really want to be my authentic self.
Well, this is all in support of her new album, Witness, as we talked earlier. It's part of this launch of the album. She goes on tour this fall, and her 5th studio album, Witness, just dropped last week.
It's a delicate dance. The song Dance with the Devil is about my dance with alcohol. What's the message in it?
Each song is like a micro message. Some of them are just pure escapism, because you need that sometimes. Like
Bon appetit?
Bon appetit, sexual liberation.
Cause I'm all that you want, boy.
Silent while Katy belted out her alleged T-Swift feud single, Swish Swish.
His roles defined the 80s. Goonies.
This was my dream, my wish.
Stand By Me.
You call my dad a loony again, and I'll kill you.
License to Drive.
The only difference between you and that greaseball is that he has a license and you don't.
Films that propelled him into the spotlight for his entire youth.
Do you feel like you missed out on a normal childhood?
What childhood? I don't know what that means.
He blames the adults, not just those looking to profit from charming children, but also some with far more sinister motives.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah.
Elijah Wood's shocking allegations against the entertainment industry. In a new interview with the Sunday Times, the former child star alleges that pedophilia has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the publication, quote, "There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind.
I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
The 35-year-old adds, "If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world and you want to succeed. People with parasitic interests will see you as their prey." He goes on to allege that even as an adult in the industry, he has been, quote, led down dark paths to realize that these things probably are still happening.
All that you can have, boy, got me spread like a buffet. Bon appetit, baby.
You've talked so much about growing up a devout Christian with your parents as preachers. What was their reaction to Bon Appetit?
Katy, she put out 3 singles. They're doing okay. They're not setting the world on fire.
Katy's evolution has been on full display during her 96-hour YouTube live stream. While live, she even had a therapy session.
I've been in dark places before. It's not just been a one time that I've felt really low.
The video for her latest single, Wide Awake, shows a crumbling fairy tale.
Do you still believe in love?
Of course. I'm going to let love lead the way, always. And I was born with this blind ambition, and it's kind of gotten me here to this point, and I think that I'll stick to it. So yes. My parents have stories. They probably have better stories than I do. And they found God, you know. They needed to find God, and not that they needed to find God, God found them, really.
Keith Urban was quoted to say, "Playing massive stadiums is not going to fill any hole inside of me," end quote. You probably all heard of Howard Stern. He's been pretty successful in his work. He just signed a contract not too long ago worth $400 million. Howard Stern makes $80 million a year. So he was interviewed, and the interviewer asked him, "You must be happy. You have a beautiful wife. You're on radio 24/7. You've reached all your goals. You're paid better than almost anyone. Are you happy?" And Stern says, "No, I've never been happy a day in my life." Can you imagine?
NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. We were founded in 1979. And we really began as an organization of families and individuals who are directly affected by mental illness. And over the years, we have evolved as society and our culture has evolved. And I think that's really appropriate to think about how rapid culture is changing, because we really are looking at culture change. And there is just a huge acceleration of change happening everywhere.
Pretty much asked her anything, and she would just open up and talk, which was great. I think,
the addiction thing, I'd never heard any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, she, and even addiction to, you know, getting all the attention that she gets, I think she recognizes that that can be a real problem, and it has been a problem for her. She's like, you get so used to seeing how many likes you have on your Instagram, and she's like, you know, and you feel it. She's like, I relate to what young girls are going through, and you know, when they don't see that they're getting the love.
By a team of psychologists, they were trying to crack a key demographic known as the millennials. How do we crack this demographic so we can sell more stuff to them? And their research revealed something that was so startling. They tested 800 more people thinking they'd got it wrong, but then they realized the same answers were coming back. They found an alarming picture of an increasingly lonely and lost generation. This article said the average social media use for millennials is 6.5 hours a day. They concluded these people have a large number of friends, but an increasing sense of loneliness. And that loneliness can drive you to despondency.
It's hard because I feel ashamed that I would even like have those thoughts, you know? I'd feel that low or that depressed.
Comedian and actor Jim Carrey was quoted to say, "I wish that everyone could be rich and famous and have everything they ever dreamed of so they would know it's not the answer." No, it's not the answer. I am not a religious person. I don't want to become a religious person. See, religion, simplified, is man's attempt to reach God. Religion effectively says if you do this, you'll reach God one day. If you do that, you'll find inner peace. If you do this other thing, you'll find satisfaction. It's due. But Christianity is God's attempt to reach man. It's through Christ. It's not what we do for God. It's what God has done for us in sending Jesus to die on the cross, because it's done and it's finished and it's a gift.